Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori, and in this video I am going to coach you through how to close the gap of your diastasis, reshape your belly button after pregnancy, and regain core strength and tone. This is the second video in a 3-part mini-series. Be sure to subscribe and save this video and then go back and watch part 1, how belly breathing can complicate or worsen any diastasis or at least prevent you from fully closing the gap of your diastasis. If you do not recruit the muscles of your deep core and the muscles of your pelvic floor, which we'll talk about in the next video, that increased pressure has nowhere to go but outward, which is going to stress that linea alba and complicate or worsen your diastasis or any other hernia-like condition. Now, to understand why all of this is important, you need to understand the concept of pressurization. I want you to think about putting air in your bike tire. When you put air into a new tire, that tire is able to sustain the maximum amount of pressure to make it safe for you to ride. Now, conversely, in that same bike, if it has a weak tread, right, like if it has bald spots or something, and you put in all of that air and then you try riding that bike, that air might just blow through that weak spot. Well, that's how it is with our abdomen when we were talking about belly breathing in the previous video without recruiting that transverse abdominis. You increase that pressure or the PSI in your abdomen and you don't have that core engagement, and that air is just going to blow out, right? Hopefully not as severely as, a bike tire blowing out, but you get the point. So it's really important that when you breathe with your diaphragm. We covered all of that in the last video, but you have to engage the deepest abdominal muscle. Specifically, we're going to be talking about your transverse abdominis. Now, your transverse abdominis is your deepest and strongest core muscle, and it functions kind of like a built-in back brace. It also serves to protect your internal organs. If you were to get sucker punched in the gut, your transverse abdominis would be most responsible for tightening, bringing everything in together nice and tight and protecting those internal organs. Now, I have a 3-year-old and he loves to roughhouse with my husband. And every once in a while, it's usually when I'm making dinner or doing dishes or something, every once in a while, they're roughhousing and playing, and all of a sudden I hear this loud from my husband because my 3-year-old just body slammed him and he wasn't prepared for it. He wasn't expecting that. Well, that is not just a surprised act. That is actually his most intense exhale so that his core can get the deepest engagement to protect his organs and his spine. I'm not going to ask you to throw your toddler on top of your abdomen or go let someone sucker punch you in the gut a few times. We are going to actually practice that deep exhale so that you can consciously learn how to reconnect with that transverse abdominis. So let's go ahead and go back down to the floor and let's practice this together. So go ahead and begin lying flat on the floor and place one hand over your chest, one hand over your belly, just like we did in the previous video. Now we're still going to go ahead and practice that belly breath because we still want to breathe in using our diaphragm. What I want you to take note of is where you feel the pressure. You'll probably feel a little bit pushing out, of course, and you might see if you can feel it pressing down into your pelvic floor as well. This is the pressure that we're looking to manage with our 360 core canister breath. We're going to move very slowly and controlled because I want you to really feel that core engagement. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Inhale in through the nose. Now I want you to exhale through your mouth until you have no more air to exhale. Okay, every last little sip of air, I want you exhaling through your mouth until you're audibly hissing. Okay, so when you think you've exhaled all the hair, continue to exhale. I guarantee you have more. Shh. Keep going. Shh. If you had your hand on your stomach, you should have felt this last little gathering in. That gathering in is your transverse engaging. Okay, now it is going to take some time likely for you to practice this, and a big part to achieving that really good core engagement is maintaining a neutral spine, which is why we're practicing this on the floor. So the next part, now that you are kind of aware of that sensation of your abdomen pulling in together, we're going to practice what is a snap technique. You're going to begin the same way, hand on chest and on abdomen. You're going to do that diaphragmatic inhale, so that go ahead and let your belly distend. We're still we're working up to that 360 breath, okay? So go ahead and inhale in through the nose, let your belly distend, and what I want you to do is as you exhale, instead of doing it slow, I want you to do it forcefully and snap your core back, okay? So go ahead and okay, it should be short and sweet. So Okay, just like you're being sucker punched. Remember I said if you were to get sucker punched, it's your transverse abdominis that's going to be most responsible for bringing everything in nice and tight. So that is what I want you to practice. So in through the nose. Go ahead and hold for about 3 seconds and then relax. And then do it again. In through the nose. Exhale. Hold. Relax. Inhale. Snap. Hold. And relax. Okay, this is what I need you to be practicing when you're exercising. If you go to do a deadlift, when you come up, that's what you should be feeling. If you're going to do an overhead press, right? It's all about core and spinal stabilization. Honestly, healing diastasis and bringing everything back together, that is a natural byproduct of what's going to happen when you learn to stabilize your spine. All right, so now to take that full 360 breath, we're going to take a diaphragmatic inhale, let your belly distend. You're going to snap in and you're going to hold it, but now you're going to inhale, keeping that engagement. And what's going to happen is that your transverse is going to keep everything in. It's going to protect your core, right? If you have diastasis or another hernia, you're not going to let that pressure go out. We'll work on not letting it go down in the next video. What's going to happen is you're going to recruit your other primary breathing muscles, your intercostals, and your rib cage is going to expand in all directions. Let's go ahead and practice this together. So inhale in through the nose, snap, hold it, and inhale through the nose again, but allow your rib cage to expand in all directions. Congratulations, you just did a 360 breath. Now, if you feel like you're having a difficult time connecting to your transverse when you're doing that exhale, a simple little device like this, and honestly, I really think this is what helped me the most to connect with my breathing. This is a breath trainer. It's actually used by free divers to help them increase their lung capacity. There's a little valve here that you can twist and turn, and when you do that, it increases the resistance of the exhale. So you put it in your mouth. I can demonstrate in a minute, but you put it in your mouth, you inhale in through the nose, and you exhale. And the resistance, this is true breath training here, the resistance really requires that you use your transverse to exhale everything out. So this is like what healed my diastasis. You can get it on Amazon. I think it was $10 or $15, something like that. But here's the demo. I'll go ahead and demo it for you. It's not going to be cute, but I'll demo it. Yeah. Don't need this, but this is a really helpful tool if you're having a difficult time connecting to your pelvic floor. I'm sorry, if you're having a difficult time connecting to your transverse abdominis. I want to tie this into changing your belly button. In my channel, I really am not going to be one who is going to be emphasizing washboard abs or, bikini bodies or anything like that. All of that is going to be a byproduct of getting your body in alignment. I am going to be all about strong core, spinal stabilization, healthy functional movement that's going to help you eliminate chronic pain issues. Having said that, how this can change the shape of your belly button is that when you engage that transverse, okay, when you pull it in, when you do that exhale and it pulls in, you'll know that it's engaging because it'll pull in and it kind of loops up a little bit, okay? That's how you get that lift. So that was the second component to our 360 core canister breath. Now the full 360 core canister breath is when we engage that pelvic floor as well. It is the contraction of the diaphragm coming down, the transverse and the abs coming in, and then the pelvic floor coming up. That is going to be your 360 core canister breath, and I will teach you the next step to that, the final component, in on the next video. This is going to be the thing that is going to help you eliminate that lower belly that so many women struggle to get rid of, and it's because so many women have such a disconnect to their pelvic floor. So I'm going to talk all about that in the next video. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you know as soon as I upload that next video.